All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start tonight's meeting for the March Cannon County Board of Education. First is public comment. No one has signed up tonight for public comment. And then the next will be the Good Citizenship Award Thursday night. Then a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. And then we'll have the employee spotlight and then roll call. First tonight is the director of schools, just discussing decide candidates to interview and set dates to interview finalists. Right now we have Courtney Nichols, Julie Benson, Larry Roney, and Marvin Baker Jr. And do y'all want to discuss dates tonight, or y'all want to wait till Thursday night? Whatever goes. Yeah,
I'm good with Thursday.
well, okay. Any discussion on that? Any further discussion on that?
I think tentatively March 24th for open interviews.
March 24th.
And then everything else we can do Thursday. I did check on this room availability because I know that you're needing to set some budget meeting dates as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the room availability dates. And she is holding this for us, so I need to let her know Friday. March 24th, March 27th, March 31st, April 3rd. She also has April 15th and 14th, which would be after the board meeting that you could use for budget. 14th and 15th.
Anything else on that? All right, moving on to number 2 is to approve the March 13, 2025 revised agenda of the Cannon County Board of Education to include additional language to item number 1. Anybody have any problem with the agenda? All right, moving on will be the consent agenda, number 3. A is to approve minutes of the February 13th, 2025 regular meeting of the Cannon County Board of Education. B is to approve Cannon County High School Assistant Football Coaches Chance Nicole and Matthew Sparks contingent on a clear background check and a drug test, and they're both here. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. Chance Nicole, I'm a student at MTSU, hoping to become a teacher here. Just got out of the Navy, looking forward to coaching with Cannon County.
I'm Matthew Sparks. I work campus support for Metro County Schools, or Metro National Schools. Looking to coach here and move my life back towards Murfreesboro.
And Chance is one of our Tennessee Teach Back candidates. And he is in physics. And he's I met him about a month ago, and we just had a wonderful conversation, and he is going to be an asset to our school community.
What subject are you looking?
Physics at the high school. I'm also a Woodbury resident.
And Matthew, I didn't meet you, so I don't want to make it look like
We like you just as good.
we did.
Thank you.
Almost.
If you stop, we'll like it now.
C is to approve Cannon County High School Assistant Softball Coaches, Dana Upton and Caleb Edwards, contingent on a clear background check and drug test. I actually think there's a softball game now. There is. D is to approve Staff Development Committee for 25-26. E is to approve overnight and out-of-state trips. Trip number 4807 is Cannon North Elementary, the Beta Leadership Junior Beta at Orlando, Florida, from June 24th through June 29th. Trip number 4808 is the Cannon County High School Tennessee FFA Convention in Gatlinburg from March 23rd through March 27th. And trip number 4819 is Cannon County High School National Beta Convention, Senior Beta at Orlando, Florida. And that is June 22nd through June 26th. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Moving on is number 4, is the financial report. Mr. Douglas, sent that to you earlier today. You have anything to add, Mr. Douglas?
No, we're about the halfway point with the teachers now, and after today's payroll. And the level of effectiveness bonuses were in the payroll that went out today, so that'll be in next month's report. I think we're looking pretty good for this year. I think we may put money back in the fund balance again, which 2 years in a row is about a record. Last several years.
I'm cheating.
Anybody
No, no.
have any questions for Mr. Douglas? Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Number 5 is the ESSER report. Ms. Alexander, you have anything?
I don't have anything unless you all have questions. You're just finishing up. I'm working on the SRF data reporting for this year. We've been told from the beginning that it has to continue through 2026. The latest guidance, I think that's kind of questionable, so they may decide to extend that. We'll see.
Thank you. Number 6 was your supervisor's report that was in your packet. Thank y'all again for all y'all's hard work and putting it together each month. Does anybody have any questions on the supervisor? Number 7 is to approve the Think Fast interactive learning opportunity for Cannon County High School 9th and 10th graders. I don't know who this is.
That would be me. This is through Coordinated School Health. This is a game-like opportunity for students to participate in that the Health Department and the Drug Coalition will be funding, if approved. The topics kind of focus on positive mental health and also drug, tobacco misuse prevention. So it's kind of set up like The Price is Right, and all of the students whose parents do sign the active consent form for them to participate will participate in an interactive format. Do y'all have any more questions?
It's a great, it is, every school that I know of that's done this program, the kids love it. It's very interactive and it teaches a lot about prevention for drugs and alcohol.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Stephanie? Thank you, Ms. Stephanie. Number 8 is to approve the review of school board policy 5.400 through 5.803, and that's personnel part 2. You have anything on that, Ms. Bonnie?
No, they're either very current or very old policies.
All right. Number 9 is to approve a resolution to meet the requirement for teacher bonuses under the Education Freedom Act.
I'm going to ask that you table this until April, and I will explain why. If you have been watching, part of the Education Freedom Act was to give teachers a $2,000 bonus. And when I say teachers, there's, I sent you some information about, and we just received that, on what they're clarifying as who would receive this bonus. I do have a sample resolution that TSBA has just updated, sent out, so that when we do pass this, I would think in April, we can use that resolution. I'm a little concerned because it's leaving out a group of certified personnel. If you'll go to that document, and if you don't have it, I can have it for you on Thursday night. But if you go down to the bottom of the page of that Department of Education 2024-2025 one-time teacher bonus information, on bullet 2, it excludes teachers who are employed under contracts of duration of 120 days. So any part-time teachers, it excludes them. The State Board of Education rule is existing educators mean an individual who is evaluated pursuant to 49-1-302 D2 and who provides direct services to students at school sites, which means licensed instructional staff who are responsible for providing direct instruction to students for the majority of the instructional day. The eligibility determinations says that the educator must be licensed, staffed to a school site, and for whom teacher is selected as the broad evaluation category. Please note that teacher in T Encompass includes a wide variety of roles with direct support to students, including pre-K teachers, interventionists, school counselors, library and media specialists, and other roles. Categories excluded from this list are instructional supervisors or supervisors and administrators. That bothers me because they work just as hard with our kids every day. But that's the intent of this bill for licensed teachers. So I'm going to a director's meeting tomorrow. There'll be more talk on this as the group, the Upper Cumberland group. I know some districts, all districts are delaying their resolution until I guess we can all sit down and talk, because it sounded like it was coming to all educators. But it's not, we won't have our totals till April. They're going to go in T Encompass, pull a report, and they're going to send us the number. Another thing that I have a problem with is that it sounded like the language would be that you would get the money this year before the school year ends. But in this document, you'll see that it's not going to be paid out to July because the money's not in the FY25 budget. It's going to be appropriated in the FY26 budget. So that means we're going to have to go back and pay personnel that may not be with us for next school year, which is not a problem. We can do that. So I would like to table this to April if it's your will to do that, so that I can get a little bit more information and then come back with a suggestion on how we proceed with this. We have been able to save money, and you know, we might want to make sure that we include everyone in this if we have to put a little bit of money with it to make sure that everyone is receiving that bonus that is a certified educator. But we'll talk more about that in budget.
Next is to number 10, is to approve resolution BOE 2425. Looks like we're just transferring money.
It's Chromebook fees.
Next will be number 11, approved to apply for the Perkins Reserve Grant.
This is the grant that comes out every year, Perkins Reserve Grant. This year, the max is $50,000. I will be requesting all $50,000 of that. So I need your permission to apply for it.
Number 12 is the request to bid for athletic training services for 25-26 at Canyon County High School. Is that you, Shane?
I don't have much to speak to it. That's just a renewal of a contract that we have to go through. Their services are running out at the end of this school year, so we're looking to re-up with the same group. Their fees are going up slightly, but it has to be put on there because that put us over a threshold to get it approved.
Well, and we'll have to bid,
It'll
so
have-
it
yeah,
may
yeah.
not be that group. It would be,
It'll be
we
bid
did
out
it,
because
yeah.
of the cost for it.
Number 13 has no action this morning. Let me know. You take it off. Oh, I got changed today. She says no action. Number 14 is seeking approval to approach the town of Woodbury City Council to see if they would consider donating a section of West Colonial Street that runs on Canyon County Elementary and Canyon County Middle School property to Canyon County Board of Education.
and Miss Emily's here. She was in the meeting. I got notified by Mr. West that he had been approached by Officer Tommy Barker, SRO, that he was concerned about the bus drop-off at Cannon County Elementary Middle because cars use that as a street. And he was wanting to do some action there until we found out that that is a street. If you look at the plat that was sent, you'll see that West Colonial is actually, it's still here, listed as a street. And as long as I can remember, back in the day when it was the shirt factory, I can see why there was a street there in the Old Woodbury Elementary School. But when we built the new school, somebody forgot to go back and get the deed changed to have that land belong to part of the school, because we have a playground that joins there. The parking lot is part of the street. So Mayor Hollingsworth and Shane Gannon, who else was there? Chief Lowell Womack, Miss Emily, Mr. West, and myself met, and we came into agreement that if we could get your blessing to go to City Council and ask them to give this piece of property to us, that we could make it legal on paper. And that way, then we could restrict traffic on that drop-off lane. Because I've almost been hit twice. When I was principal over there, I had pulled out, and this car just came zipping by, and almost hit me there. And I saw one just the other night from the board meeting. I was leaving the board meeting. Here come another car down through there. So they can't legally ticket someone because it's a street. And so I will get Mr. West to go to City Council, because the next City Council is on the night of the board meeting. And so I'm going to have him go and be there to represent us. And it will take a little bit of funding, of course, to get the deed and everything, whatever's got to be done. But Mr. Hollingsworth would like to see this done. Of course, he will have to get the approval of the council. But you can look at that. There's also some other changes that they would like to see. At one point, it was a one-way street down Eddie Cox Drive. They would like to go back to that because of some near misses on parent drop-off. And that is, I'd like to thank Mayor Hollingsworth for wanting to do that. And that will, I think somewhere July 1?
Yes, they want to present it and be in the newspaper, a lot of public notification that we would be changing back to a one-way street over there. And it would not be done in this school year at all. It would be the start of next school year, whenever it would be effective.
And they've also agreed to help us with painting on the street that runs in front of the school, West Adams. Melanie actually had to go down there and paint that crosswalk there, and we brought that up. That was part of the horse trading there. I said, we need some help with that. And so Mr. Gannon agreed to help with that and keep that painted and up to date. So I think it's a start of a good working relationship with the city.
I've already said which way the traffic's gonna flow on that road.
Like it did the last time.
Straight, yep.
Come up from this, yeah.
No, it's not.
And it really worked there for so long, and then they went back to the other.
We can talk about maybe a concrete, like a triangle or something at the end, so one way would go one direction and the other way would go the other at the end of that. Because they're looking at, in the future, paving Adams, because it needs to be paved, and that's what brought up the painting and putting a concrete like at least a triangle.
And that way we could actually put a gate
Yes. that was-
at the pre-K entrance on West Colonial. We would actually be able to gate that during the day to
Mhm.
keep, I'm sorry, that's,
The sun is-
yeah, to keep traffic from coming down through there during the day.
Mhm.
You would be surprised at the people that use that. Just be surprised. And we have kids that cross over and go to playgrounds, and so it is a safety issue. And I want to thank Officer Tommy for looking into that. But you have the plat, you can see what we're asking.
Thank you, Ms. Bonnie. Number 15 is to open up the stage area in the gym by removing the wall at Cannon North. I'm assuming this is you, Miss Millie.
Oh, yes, sir. That's just Miss Amanda had approached me about seeing if they could,
I lock the front door, should leave the front door open. So interrupt.
Leave it open, we'll lock it.
Oh,
Thank you. Go ahead.
but she had approached me about opening the stage back up down at North. And that was that she had her PTO parents volunteering to do all the work if we would just get it approved to do it. It just has that temporary wall that was put up, several years ago to enclose it for sporting equipment and stuff. So we cleaned the stage off to make sure it didn't have any floor damage to the stage. We was a little worried that it might have, damage to it, but it looks, fine to me. I didn't see anything wrong with opening it back up. Michael has a tower up there that's holding a lot of the computer stuff, but he was wanting to move that off anyway because it's not protected up there. Any student could have went up there and unplugged his stuff. So they're gonna move all that down to the other room that is actually locked up. And I think she just wanting to utilize that area for like during ball games because it's so crowded. You just can't get enough people in there. Plus, when they have harvest festivals, they can put the kids up there instead of setting them on the floor where people can actually, see the students. So I think that'll be a big asset to them as well. So I don't see any problem doing it. It's not gonna cost us any money whatsoever. We're gonna do all the labor, besides what we've already have to do, which was moving stuff off the stage, so. If you have any questions for Miss Amanda, she'll be glad to answer.
I think it would be good for us for any events that we're doing so that you can actually see the children, because right now we're having to seat a lot of people on the floor as well. And so not everybody can see. And I just think it'll be special for them too if we can get that everything back up.
Y'all have any questions?
Do we have any forms for the volunteers to sign saying they're volunteering and stuff, that any accidents and stuff per se?
That's a good question.
You know.
Do we have a form like that through the board at all, or is it something we can?
I don't.
Yeah.
What's your
Protect us, protect them.
Anybody that's on our property is covered, so. And we've had volunteers do cleanup for years and years and years out on the playgrounds inside. They've painted, they've done a little bit of everything. So I think your liability insurance.
Any other questions? All right, moving on, number 16 is to approve the bid for generators at Cannon Elementary, Cannon Middle School, Cannon North, and Cannon South, and those are in your packet. I think Mr. Bedford had sent us he was wanting to use current electrical and I guess it's generator services for $52,227.80. Which they were the low bid. Any questions on that? And that's also coming out of his budget, right?
And safety.
And safety. Any questions? All right. Moving on, is number 17, is to approve additional budget work session date.
I gave you those other open dates. I'll go back over them, instrument packets. March 24th, you suggested for interview dates. That is open. March 27th is open. March 31st. April 3rd. April 15th or 14th and 15th. Those are dates you can select for your budget work sessions.
You do it one more time, I'm sorry. Lagging behind. Been lagging behind all day.
Not when they.
The 31st is not good for police. The 31st is not. I did. All right, Alicia.
We could possibly do the 27th, or you could just wait and do the 3rd, and possibly the 14th or 15th.
In the 3rd, that would give Douglas and myself a week to come up with something, and then you'd have the 14th and 15th to either go over it one more time or. Is that okay? You good? 6 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
April 3rd and 14th. Or the 3rd and the 14th.
And then possibly the 15th if you needed one more. We have to have, the budget by May 15th. They have not set our budget committee meeting yet.
Any discussion on that? Ms. Bonnie, you have any comments tonight?
No.
Not having any chair comments, I don't have any tonight. 20, we will adjourn. The regular meeting for this month is March 13th at the Canyon County Elementary, Canyon County Middle School at 6 p.m. in the cafeteria. Thank y'all.
Yeah.